Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is the kind of game that gets better over time. While I enjoyed the first few hours, the game starts to really pick up in the second act and consistently delivers some great missions. However, all the fun to be had is on the gameplay side, because the story of the Ghost Warrior isn't all that interesting. The game sets up a Cold War plot that focuses on the main character, John North, and his lost brother. You're not going to get much in the way of meaningful development here, but the opposing separatist forces have a bit of character to them. I just never cared about what happened to anyone in the cast, and was hoping to see a bit more ambition in the plot. It doesn't help that the voice acting is bland and the world isn't as fully realized from a visual perspective to help it feel alive, but there certainly are some moments of real beauty. Players are routinely given some new environments to explore, but I found myself immediately pulling up the map and heading back to the safe house with the load screen. Besides these moments of visual ecstasy, the world just doesn't look that great, but to the game's credit, it overcomes that issue by placing a number of outposts and points of interest across the Georgian landscape. Some are just too tantalizing to pass up, creating an almost Zelda-like adventure lore, and the journey is full of these smaller, more intimate moments of pure exploration. On the gameplay side, it took me a while to get used to the controls, especially with my silenced pistol. The actual sniper feels great, although I would have liked a little more force feedback from the controller. Enemies bundle to the ground in slow-mo animations, and there's enough difficulty involved in getting the shot right to not make the game feel arcadey. During missions, optional objectives keep things fresh, and side operations will also keep you distracted from the main quest, providing interesting objectives with a good payoff in the form of unlocked weapons and skill points, increased health, more loot, and the ability to see tagged enemies through walls makes a surprisingly difficult game a little less stressful. While some missions can be completed from a prone position in the distance, the game smartly forces the player to engage enemies up close. This forceful mission design is paired perfectly with masterfully crafted and varied level design that consistently delivers different missions that require different approaches. Standard buildings and outposts are complemented by villages and satellite facilities to make for a unique and challenging adventure. In a genre that tends to deliver the same type of copy and paste level design, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is a breath of fresh air, and the benchmark by which future open world and stealth games should be judged by in this regard. And that creativity seeps into the gameplay experience. Customizable weapons can swap magazines, camos, optics, and the like to perfect your desired class. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 understands its mechanics, and the game's design is brutally consistent, resulting in a challenging choice-based approach to gameplay and strategy. Combined with the stellar and varied level design, this Eurasian adventure consistently delivers great missions throughout its lengthy campaign. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 just keeps getting better after each mission. The production value isn't as high as I'd hoped, but the game knows what it is, and every mechanic and feature works together in tandem. A supreme variety in level and mission design paired with thoughtful stealth gameplay makes this a worthy addition to any shooter fan's library, even if the overarching story isn't all that interesting.